All right, guys, Darren from FBA Elite, and welcome back to another video. So this week I used a product research technique to find hopefully one of the next products that I'm going to be looking to launch probably in early 2022. But I didn't use my usual favorite method. So anyone that's watched my previous product research videos, I always talk about the store rater method, where you find good selling products on Amazon, you look who's selling it, and then you look at all of the other products they sell. Instead, this week we kind of mix things up a bit. And this is something that you guys should try yourself, and that's why I wanted to make a video about this, because I know myself, trying to find products on Amazon, it takes time, and sometimes it's not the most exciting thing to do in the world, just constantly clicking around Amazon hoping to find a good opportunity. So this method is a real store rater method, so we actually go into the shops, which you guys could probably tell from the amazing thumbnail. And here we are. I got my wife to take a photo of me in the kitchenware section, which is where I usually head to check out FBA products. And obviously I've got my mask on to ensure that I don't get recognized, obviously, with my huge amount of 15,000 followers. So I wanted to make this video to give you guys something to think about when you go shopping or when you're dragged shopping, because just going back to this photo, there are lots of potential FBA products just on these couple of shelves. And just go around the store and take a look and see some of the things, because seeing them firsthand, actually picking them up, feeling them, straight away you will actually know whether you like the product in the first place. You'll find ways that they could possibly be improved. And it also is much more interesting than just sitting on Amazon just going through different niches. So if we just take this photo as an example, I've got another photo here which shows the other side, so I might come to that later on in the video. So what I'm going to do is show you how I do the product research using this method. So when I'm actually at the shop, I don't do any product research per se. I'm not sitting on my phone looking up demand or anything like that. What I do is look through these products to get some ideas, make a list of them. Then when I come back, I jump onto Amazon, I use X-Ray from Helium 10, and I do my product research. So I want to talk you through a few of the products that I saw when I was at the shops. Now, many of you guys have probably been to this shop. This is The Range, and I think they've got outlets all across the UK. But if you don't have one close to you, there'll be plenty of other shops like this, such as Dunelm Mill, or even if you go to your local supermarket, they will have homeware sections like this where you can go and get inspiration and keep things a bit more interesting than just sitting on Amazon. So the first one I want to show you from this section is, you can just about see it here. This is a garlic press. So let's go onto Amazon. Let's pop in garlic press and we will see what we get. Now, garlic press is actually an FBA product I'm aware of. This is something I saw a year or two ago, but the price point always put me off. But coming to this niche again, it was quite interesting to see this one in particular here being sold at $9.99. With the box really is the main thing that's giving it perceived value, because really it's not much different to some of the other things that are being sold, but the box makes it stand out. So there's probably other things you could do to add perceived value to these products to stand out within a niche, which isn't, the most exciting thing. It ultimately is a garlic press. Now there's another niche for garlic dices and stuff like that. This one is focusing on garlic presses. So you can see here, 3-2 are pretty much selling the same product for $17.99. Now they can probably source this for a couple of pound. Let's just check out the sales actually and see what we've got within this niche. So we're going to use X-Ray from Helium 10. This is my go-to product research software, and I'll of course chuck up some discount codes and include some in the pinned top comment below. So let's take a look through this product and we'll talk about who this product might be for and some of the things to keep in mind when you're doing your product research. So from left to right, and I've done this in many previous videos, but by doing it again and again, hopefully you guys will get the gist of what I do. First thing is to ensure all of the products are comparable. So you just saw me scroll through the search results and they are all comparable garlic presses. Sometimes you'll find a particular niche or a particular keyword and all of the search results aren't comparable. So make sure those search results are comparable. And you can do that by either scrolling down or just hovering over the ASINs and it will pop up the photos. The next thing I like to look at is the brand, to make sure there's no one kind of brand dominating the niche. So we've got big brands, Joseph and OXO. Other than that, a lot of these are private label brands. So it goes to show private label FBA sellers can get into this niche. The price point is a concern, it is quite low, but at the same time, there are some of these products, especially for example, Frito, or Frito, however you want to say it, selling at $17.99, 200 units per month. That's respectable. They're making a decent amount of profit. So don't rule a niche out purely based on seeing some low prices, providing there's enough evidence, like for example here, 15, 16, 17. I know two of these are Joseph, but it does show potentially there is room to go higher in this niche if your product has high enough perceived value. So you can either judge the demand by sales or revenue, whichever way you prefer to do. Whichever way you do go, just make sure there's at least 5 products around the sort of region you'll be targeting. So if we're looking at this, my landing zone, I'm going to ignore these ones as these are huge demands. I'm not going to be looking to launch a product selling that many. But you might see here and go, okay, 400, 700, 500. There's only a few at that zone, but we've got one at 300, 169, 238, 199. So that's 4 products between 2 to 300-ish. So you could find the landing zone somewhere around there, but I certainly wouldn't enter this niche trying to sell 1 to 2,000 off the bat. I'd probably come in with a target of maybe 200 per month and then go from there depending on how the first batch went. We then go across a bit further. FBA fees, I always check these out manually and also consider whether there's anything I can do to drive them down further as well. Just because you see a guide of FBA fees doesn't mean you can't repackage a product in a better way or have it manufactured a particular way to reduce the overall dimensions, which could bring down your FBA fees. Ratings, I try to avoid anything that has too many 4.8s or above, as that will mean they have a 5-star average. In this niche, we're all at 4.7 or below, except this one here. So that means there won't be too many 5 stars to compete with. Review count, obviously this is a concern as there's lots of people in at least 4 figures. But again, you've got here someone with 29 reviews has just broken onto the first page. So it goes to show if you can bring a unique product to market that isn't directly comparable, so you're offering some sort of feature, function, visual difference, something that gives you perceived value where you won't be compared directly on your review count alone, then you have a chance of getting involved in this niche. So potentially this could suit someone who's not looking to invest too much money, as I can't imagine garlic presses are going to cost more than a couple of pounds. But you do need to have a really strong feature to stand out, as a lot of these products do look quite good. And I know from my own personal experience, there's been many people involved in this niche for many years as a very popular go-to FBA product. But again, it's just something I wanted to go over. So back to the photo. Another thing was these, which are a classic FBA product. But when I was looking around the shop on another shelf, they had a very similar thing, but they were called the travel version instead of, it was like a travel coffee cup. So I'm just going to try and find that here. Travel mug. There we go. That's probably the best term if that's the auto suggest. So you can see it's quite a similar thing. It's not a flask, but they're all very unique. And by the looks of them, many of them are from private label sellers as well. And the price range varies quite a bit. So it's going to be something that's very much driven by visual appeal, as obviously you need the functional benefit of actually keeping your coffee warm or whatever hot drink you're drinking warm. But at the same time, this is almost a fashion accessory. So that's why visual is very important. But let's run X-ray again and we'll go through this particular product and see what we get. So ignoring all of the sponsored brands, and again, we're going to go from left to right. So we look like we're all comparable, had a very quick scroll down as you just saw. No one is brand dominating. Yes, you've got Contigo dominated the sponsored results, but that isn't an issue. There's certainly no one dominating the organic results. And there's no big brands there that I really recognize. Someone that is maybe a coffee drinker may recognize a big brand there that I don't. Price point is a bit healthier and certainly would appeal to me more than the garlic press niche. Sales is very high. So this would probably be something I would avoid if I was a new seller. Even for me, the demand here is probably a bit on the high side, as you're going to need to shift a hell of a lot of units. The launch is going to be very, very expensive. So that would probably put me off. But if you're coming at this with a lot of experience and a huge budget, then certainly there's money to be made within this niche. Like I say, judge it either by sales or revenue, whichever one you prefer to go by. FBA fees, some of them are higher, but certainly it's possible to keep the fees down with the right type of mug. Ratings, no issues there. Everyone's below 4.7, so not lots of 5 stars dominating the niche. And review counts. This shows it might be quite difficult to get into this niche, as a lot of these are in 4 figures, and even the 3-figure ones are quite high. So that would make sense. With that amount of demand, you do expect to see this kind of high level number of reviews. But again, if you could come up with a unique design, I'm not talking about taking one of these cups and doing it in a different color. You need to come up with something really different, offering some sort of perceived value, whether there's a bundle item or functionality that these do not offer. So this niche, personally, I would shy away from, but it gives you an idea of what you can find just by having a wander around the shops. Let's take a look at the other photo. I think there was a couple of other things that I wanted to look at. So you can see here you had a digital timer, but you also here had a meat thermometer. So let me just pop this in and see what the auto suggests are. Meat thermometer, so you've got the digital ones, or meat thermometer probe. Let's just try the main term actually and see what mixed results we get. So at the top, it looks like we've got these very basic ones selling for quite cheap. $8.99 is quite cheap. I would like to push that price up. This looks like a very similar product for almost double the price, but with an extension cable. So that's how they've managed to add value to this. So that's very interesting to see. But let's run X-ray and we will see what the stats say for this particular product. So left to right, again, all meat thermometers. You can see from the thumbnails there, they're all the same type of products. They're all digital meat thermometers. Brands, Thermo Pro a couple of times, 3 times there, but no issues there. It wouldn't worry me at all. Price is very lumpy, so there's some very cheap ones and some more expensive ones. It's very much a variable price, and it all comes down to how much value you can offer or perceived value you can offer with your product. Again, the sales is quite lumpy as well. So from huge demand here, the top one is selling 15,000 per month. So if this is accurate, which X-ray usually is, they're doing 140,000 in revenue on meat thermometers. Now they're not making that. I'd imagine their profit margin is maybe £2 to £3. They could still be easily making maybe 30 to 50,000 pound per month off a meat thermometer. It's insane when you think about it like that. But realistically, if you're entering this niche, I would target looking at this demand probably the 250 to 300 region. You've got a few products around there which would give you a wide enough landing zone. Price point is something you always want to keep your eye on, so make sure you do what you can to drive this price up. What else have we got here? The review count, there's a few on 4.8, so they might be difficult to overtake as they're going to have the 5-star and the review counts as well here. You can see here, a lot of people in 4 or 5 figures, so again, going to be difficult to dislodge. But if we scroll down, we've got this one here at $13.99 with 24 reviews. Yes, they've got a 5-star average, so they might be kind of manipulating their reviews as quite a new product, but they are on the front page with just under 200 sales at $13.99. So I imagine they're making a bit of profit from that. Let's just do one more before I wrap up this video. Actually, let's just go back to the other photo. So we've got some utensils on this side. So we've got a steel masher there. So let's just try a steel masher and see what we get. Let's have a scroll down first to see what the types of products we've got. And sometimes as well, you might look in the niche and then you discover a different type of product. So I've just searched for steel mashers, but then here we've got a potato ricer. So actually, let's take a look at potato ricer, because steel masher, the price point is quite low on some of these products, but let's see what we get. So potato ricer. So already this looks a bit better. You know, the price point looks healthier. Yeah, someone's here selling for a reasonable price. Let's run X-ray and see what the stats say. So from left to right again, we know they're all comparable, so just scroll down. No one brand dominating. Price point is better, especially than it was for a steel masher. Sales, I quite like the look of these sales. These are quite evenly spread. This would be ideal for someone targeting maybe 200 to 300 per month to start with the potential to go higher if you do well. Reviews, there are some in the 4 figures, but there's one in double figures there and another 2. So potentially, of all the products that I've just shown you, actually, this is probably my favorite. This is the kind of the more spread out demand that I like to see, with a reasonable price point to start with. And also there's no big brands, and the potential ricer itself is something I'm sure I could look at and figure out a way to improve it or to make it stand out within this niche, which is pretty much dominated by private label FBA sellers. So hopefully that gives you guys a better idea or a new idea of ways to try product research. You know, go to the shops, go to your local supermarket, go to the homeware aisle, see what they've got, go to the range, go to Dunno Mill, even go to Homebase, B&Q, whatever it is, and just go to the homeware sections and get a real feel for some of these products, and come back, jump on Amazon, use X-Ray. I'll stick some discount codes in the top comment and also pop them up on screen now. And then hopefully that will make your product research slightly more interesting. And like I say, this is how I just found a great product, which I'm going to be contacting suppliers about to get samples for and looking to develop that product for launching early next year. So hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, I'd really appreciate it. You hit that like button. If you're not already signed up at the FBA Elite forums, go to fbaelite.com. The forums are completely free to sign up to. We've got the resource section in there, so lots of things that will help you with your FBA journey, such as a profit calculator. We've also got some discount codes for things such as Link My Books and also the course that we sell. So make sure you check out FBA Elite. It is completely free to sign up, and the forums there, we have some really good sellers on there helping each other out. And to wrap up this video, I'm going to pop up 2 videos in front of me. One will be more product research methods, and the other one will be how to develop your very own product research criteria.